Tell us a little bit about, this group of graduates and what your advice to them will be.
Well, it's an exciting time for these students and these families. So many of them have worked so hard to get to this point, had their ups and downs, and many of them have worked through college and have got all kinds of thoughts in mind for what the future holds. So all of the advice that's given today is going to be given by our commencement speaker, Sam Cavelli. But I know their faculty has been giving them advice since their time here, and that's you have to become very competent in your field. You have to be passionate about what you do. You have to be excited. You have to be willing to work hard, and all of those things. And what's neat about graduation is it's kind of reinforced by your speaker as they're heading out the door, ready to begin the next chapter of life.
Okay, comments on basically last night's amazing win, really not giving up till that very last second.
Well, that's the mark of the Valley, is that we just don't give up. Our football team and coaching staff and fans and everyone else had a chance to demonstrate that to the whole nation. But that's been in the DNA of this Valley for many, many years. The folks that have raised their families here and begun businesses here and gone out and permeated out throughout the entire world. So it was so much fun. We were so proud to watch the coaches, Coach Pelini and the staff, just build that team into a culture of never quit, into a culture of it's not over till it's over, and you could tell they really worked hard together.
You've been on both sides of it now as a president. What's it like being president of university with a successful football team?
Well, it's a lot easier when you're the president. You don't have to coach the football team and go against great teams like Eastern Washington and now upcoming James Madison. I think if we all do our roles, we're all working extremely hard to do our roles, learning along the way, trying to get better along the way, critiquing ourselves along the way. So it's fun to look at the football side of things right now, just to see the pride that it brings to the Valley, the excitement, the energy, getting calls from people all over the country, knowing that on Sports Center and on national TV, that big Y was in front of people, and that slogan of Y and proud was in front of people all over the nation. And we're very, very proud of what they've done.
You're not coaching, obviously, but any similarities for this team to the ones in the '90s when you were coaching them?
Oh gosh, they never quit. The teams back then never quit, and obviously this team never quits. It's a competitive team that is excited about representing the Valley. I think our team knows, and our teams back then knew, that it was bigger than just about us. It was about the people in the Valley. It was about what they'd watched growing up in an area that had some adversity and had some difficulties but never gave up, and wanting to show that they'd learned their lesson. And I think that's in place in both those teams in the '90s and that team this year.
2016 National Championship, what would that mean for Youngstown State University?
Wow, it would be incredible. Anytime that you have that fleeting moment where you can stand at the top of the mountain and say, hey, this particular time, we were number one, that's great pride for the people that went to school here, the people that live and work here, the people that have had any interaction with Youngstown State University. It's just a proud moment and a reminder that you can do anything from right here in Youngstown or from wherever you are.
You've been at the top of that mountain several times, I think 4 times. Tell me a little bit, is it sort of different, like sitting back now, or what's sort of how different is it?
It is a little bit different from the vantage point. There's a lot of different mountains. The mountain that we're trying to climb is a tough mountain as well. But it's fun watching the journey that the team has taken and to see the suffering that goes into a journey. It's been 10 years since we were in the playoffs. That's a lot of suffering, and we lost 3 games this year, and we've had injuries, and we missed some players, and we had some disappointing situations, but we overcame it. And so it's fun to watch with a lot of pride that the people just banded together and learned from whatever, and have taken the next step.
Any thoughts on how the coaching staff, the team, handled the suspensions over the week?
Well, it looks to me like they stayed together. Obviously, we're disappointed they didn't have their whole family together, but they were going to do whatever they had to do. Someone needed to step up, and someone needed to take those particular roles. And obviously, who knows? It may have been that one more moment of suffering that fueled great play in the game.
Do you agree with what Coach Pelini not saying he was suspended or what for?
You know what? I wasn't really involved in hearing and listening and so forth, but I know this. There are certain privacy things that one needs to uphold, and what exactly was the situation there, I'm not sure, but those are hard. I mean, I empathize with him because I've been through things, you know, whether they're with football or maybe things here at the university, that, you know, sometimes you have to make decisions, and many times not everyone's going to agree with what you're doing, but you got to try to do your best and learn from your decisions, and you know, all in all, very proud of what Coach Pelini has done and what his young people have done as well.
Last question. Do you see this for me? Do you see this taking, I don't know, there was something basically in the Vindicator saying that there are teachers who are bringing this up, saying that, you know, there's a lack of transparency and more money is put into athletics than into education, and that's a problem. Do you see this transferring into the field of education as a problem with the what happened with the football players, the most recent, I guess, use of, I'm not sure even if it was illegal substances or what it was. I need to look into what it was. I don't even know what it was.
Well, you know, I'll say this. There is a problem with drugs in our society. It's not just in athletics. It's not just in young people. It's across this entire sector of our population, and so it is a problem. And does it get magnified a great deal when you're on a national stage like we are? Absolutely. But, you know, there's no way that I would deny the fact that it's a problem in our society, and it's something that, you know, we've got to figure out an answer for, and you know, education's part of it, family situations are part of it, personal decisions are a part of it. You know, there are so many things that are a part of it, but it does, I mean, it gets magnified when it's in a newsworthy moment, but I'm not silly enough to think that that's the only problem we have in the world.
Any credibility to more spending on education versus sports or anything like that?
Well, I know this, our people do a great job from a standpoint of our expenditures in the athletic side. In fact, if you look at where we are budget-wise in the Missouri Valley Conference, we're somewhere in the middle. If you look at where we are in the Horizon League, we're at the bottom, yet we're working extremely hard. Finances are hard in the state of Ohio right now. And, you know, we've got to try to do the best with what we've got, and in all phases. I'm really proud of the way our people work in the academic sector with what we have. I'm proud of what they do in the athletic sector, in the arts, in our buildings and grounds, in everything that we do. People are doing the best they can with what we have.
How much longer do we have you for?
Well, I don't know. Commencement's going to start here in just a second, so not much longer.
No.